Five days alive, baby. Welcome back. This is the Bygone Keep. We are returning with a very fantastic and very creative crew, and that's probably going to be put to the test in the next hour or so. I'm very interested to see what they come up with. But anyway, before I get too far into it, I'm going to introduce my lovely cast here. We're going to start with Joe because he ironically got to go.
Joe's always got to go, which, I mean, that's not true. I avoid going most of the time. I like sitting on my comfy couch here. But I'm Joe, and I'm playing Brannigan. He's a cleric, he's a dwarf, he's not a paladin, and it's great. We're about to bite off more than we can chew, but that's how you learn to eat better? I don't know. The analogy breaks down at that point. But I'm here to make sure everybody's alive and happy and well and good. And that's... Oh, no, I can be found on the internet. I was going to say I'm done, but I'm not done. On Sundays, Dispel Logic on Twitch. We play Dungeons & Dragons, and it's a good time, except for where it's a bad time, because we almost died twice. And we let out an Ancient Evil, and it's real bad, but we're having fun with it. So come see us not fix it right away, probably. But we're going to try. And now I'm done. And now, Maya, please say things so I can stop saying things.
No, please continue, Joe.
All right, you insist. I mean, I guess on Sundays what we're doing is the 3-man groups. There's no healers. It's very difficult. That's why we almost died twice. But it's pretty good. I'm playing a barbarian. I mean, did you want me to keep going? I mean, I can keep.
How does a barbarian feel for you compared to like something like
Maya? What have you done?
It's different. It's fun to just turn your brain off a little bit because he's got low intelligence, but he's got a big hammer.
How low is the intelligence?
I think a 7. I don't have the sheet in front of me. Are you ready now, Maya? Or should I keep going?
It seems Kid is keenly interested in your barbarian story.
Well, he should watch on Sundays. Dispel Logic at 8 p.m. Eastern.
I got shit on Sundays. I'm sorry.
Well,
make
room, as you said to me earlier.
After the episode is done, right? You could go back.
I just want to. This is the energy. We're not even past the first.
It is full Troll Wednesday.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
I said my piece and I passed the mic and it was handed back.
Okay. Hi, I'm Maya. I play the monk Mauricio. I almost forgot her name because Miners fucks it up so much.
Murphy.
Like I went through all of his like ways of saying the name and then got to mine. So this is Mauricio. Her art is done by Nelissa, a peeker. And yeah, aside from playing a Lunar Soul monk who likes to throw fireballs a whole lot, I am also the creator behind Abella Knights, which is a sci-fantasy tabletop RPG. We'll actually probably be getting an update tomorrow. I'm making NPCs so people can go in with pre-made characters if they're a little intimidated by all the mechanics. Just use to have one right there. Just grab one, go in, have fun, blow shit up. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pass it over to... Oh, I think I have brain damage today.
I appreciate that you say today.
No, it's particular today because I kept looking at Anita because I was going to pass the mic to her, but I kept in my brain going Effie. It was like, that's the character's name, brain. What's Anita's actual name? And there we go. So there you go, Anita. Apologies for my brain branch.
You know, it's fine. Got cursed by a witch. Sometimes that happens. Hey everybody, Anita here. I'm playing Effie Twist Trumbull. This person, Djarn Pick Crew. If you want to make your own Effie-like character, you can find me, sometimes Kit, and sometimes Joe at Anita the Lesbian on the Twitters. And that's where you can find whatever I'm doing. And with that, I'll pass it over to Foos.
Hello, it's my Foos. I'm playing Murida. He is a vengeance paladin. And I think the only damage he took last combat was because of the cleric. So here we are. But it was a hilarious time. And we are working our way through. But no, it should be exciting. I will also say there does seem to be very trolly energy, and I think it's only the men from what I've seen right now today. So I'm gonna leave it with that, and then I'm gonna pass it off to Kit. Please introduce yourself.
Well, hi. Call me Kit. I am playing. I'm gonna do the Joe thing right here. I'm playing her right here. Her name is what the fuck is her name? Oralyn.
On the screen right now.
Yes, it's one of those days for sure now.
Her name is Oralyn. She is a monk of Melil, and she really likes to throw knives around. She is, as you can see, a nun. That was a whole ass joke I did, and that was the only reason she exists as a character. Having a lot of fun with her. Last 2 weeks actually, a spider died, and she's now having an existential crisis. On a personal note, today's my dad's birthday. He came here in 58. He was 20 years old, and today he is 65. God fucking damn it! I'm just want to say that I'm grateful that he's in my life, because he's the reason I can say jokes about other Mexicans.
Happy birthday, Kid's dad.
Happy birthday.
He's not Fooz's yet.
Oh my god.
But yeah, let's see what this monster of a man has for us today. Mr. Nanners, please go ahead.
That's everyone, right? We didn't skip anybody.
No, good. It's funny because it's my buddy's birthday, but I'm upset because there was no cake at work, and he should have made someone buy cake so I could have had cake.
Yeah, you gotta. Anyway, when you're an adult, you have to provide the cake for yourself.
I had to draw $50 on that cake. Yeah, I know.
There it is. What was I saying? Oh, welcome back. This is the Bygone Keep. I'm Nenners. I DM here Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm a victim on Saturdays, usually of Foozie's campaign and whatever else may be coming down the pipeline. Foozie's shaking her head like she didn't just kill this guy I have behind me, who's going to be in this thing in memorandum, whatever the word is.
Memoriam?
Nope. One of those things. Yeah, so R.I.P. Joaquin, you were dope. Anyway, we're going to kick this off by sending it back to the characters. They just recently cleared out a room full of mechanical contraption, and we're with a whole bunch of demons who were working with these giant kind of crystals that were filled with some kind of energy. The very... let's say passionate cleric destroyed one with his mighty hammer, revealing that when destroyed, they detonate, not unlike a small localized bomb, and did a bunch of damage to folks. But the wizard at the end of the fight touched it and then gained some magical energy back from it. So there's some kind of plot where they are siphoning energy from what is likely a ley line and turning it into this kind of hardened, encasing it in these crystals and using it either for storage or who knows what, but that's essentially what they uncovered. After that, they took a gander down below to the machinery that was helping create this, and found a rather alarming sight of a very large, very powerful pit fiend devil, flanked by some very weird-looking, clearly illithid adjacent creatures, if not mind flayers themselves, looking at this particular structure and commenting on it, and talking, like having some kind of discussion. It's too loud due to the gears and all the machinations going on below to actually figure out what they were saying. But that's essentially what they gathered from it, and they were trying to create a plan as to how to disrupt this particular group. So this is where we'll return and where I hand the baton off to the characters.
Excuse me, sir. Hi. What did you say the distance down to the ground was?
I believe it was 125 feet.
That's perfect, thank you. It's great. It's great. It's within range of stuff. Appreciate you. You're next, man.
Oh, I'm not nice. Don't be putting that on me. Yep, it's 125. Correct.
I know
You're
Anita
right.
was talking about things that Effie was looking to do, I think.
Yeah. I think Effie's gonna take a step back. Be like, okay, that's a lot of bad down that way. Let's look to where the balls are coming from. And maybe that will be the actual battery that our goddess told us to go check out. So she'll go over to the other conveyor belt and see what's happening in there. Try to time it so she doesn't get a bowling ball to the face.
Okay. And just let me hold on, let me take a look here and make sure we're talking about the same thing.
Yes, now there's another map. I demand it.
Demand.
I just want to. So when you guys were looking down, I thought you guys were looking. Let me just get my little
Down the
finger out.
chute. That's where.
Down here, right? Or were you looking down there?
Why?
I mean, it surprise. It leads to the same spot, right? There's So, just because the map obviously doesn't explain everything that's here. So, and Effie would probably understand this first due to her intellect. There is an energy source. There's energy coming up into this particular thing, right? And then there's the crystallization agents are this kind of secondary tubes that you see kind of running in here. So below you is where the energy is kind of being processed and being pushed up into this area and then crystallized, essentially. So just want to make that clear. This thing is tempering the energy in some way. I don't think there's been a check on that wheel yet, so
Yeah,
that's as much as I'm going to give you. But
that's great, because I thought I was looking down this way, down into this thing, but we're looking down here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess if I think the wheel is important, by the context clues that my GM has given me, I'm just trying to move the plot along, fam. It's taken me a little bit to warm up today. I'll get it. But can Effie look at the important looking wheel? And
Absolutely. Yep. Give me a big old Arcana check. Anybody who has a what's we're looking for, a background in Arcana, or artificery style engineering or tinkering.
Not quite, Minners. However, I do remember last week, one of the things Mauricio was going to do is try to take a look at the machine that the big juicy dude operated, because he seemed to pull a bunch of switches and levers and things like that to get us electrocuted. So there's clearly a method to the madness, and she's going to try to see if she can puzzle out the various mechanisms on the machine. And
Okay.
if anybody's willing to help me figure this out, because I don't know a damn thing about this, but I'm going to look.
Okay. You could roll, but I would say without a background to it, it's just like handing somebody a flux capacitor. You know what I mean? It's like, please, you're muted. Not muted.
Sorry, I was gonna say something. Huh.
But yeah, you can give me an Arcana roll at disadvantage. And Anita, was that a 3 right off the bat?
It's a 13, actually.
That's a 3. We just had a vacancy in the Low Rollers Club, so
that's the number. 13 is the number.
All right, 13.
That was rolled.
Okay. This is
Nobody wants to help. Okay.
No, I was chewing. I do want
I'm-
to see what I can do.
I'm looking at a big important wheel right now.
Yep.
You can ask me as soon as I'm done inspecting this wheel with my incredible Arcana skills.
Given that you just rolled a 3, I'd imagine you walked up to that.
It's a
building,
13, actually. It's a 13.
I love
Three
that.
total.
The device you're looking at is of fairly interesting design. It's used as what you can tell as a bleed off from the energy, because there's not like if you put it crudely, like in a plumbing situation, there's an expansion tank. It's very kind of similar to this, right? There's elements like the ley lines are not, fixed mathematical sources of power. The ebb and flow, there's elements on that you can't control. So this is used to kind of run off that energy. But in doing so, it also propels itself. So it's kind of like like a water wheel from Magic, if that makes any sense. But with the 13, that's essentially what you're getting there.
Yeah. Can I connect that, this is probably very much connected to the huge battery that's 125 feet below us?
Give me another Arcana check to see if you can map the two.
All right. That was my warm-up Arcana. Now now we're going to see the magic happen. Easy.
And Maya, I want that
Simple.
Arcana disadvantage, girl. Come on.
Let's go.
No, you can't. You can't have it.
It's a
All
7? It's still less than 10.
It's better.
The
17 actually is above average. Very nice. Love that for me.
Average for you would be 21.
Wow, this is all right, guys. There's plenty of bad guys below that you guys.
I want Effie on my team. And my team is low roller.
Don't worry, you got Maya on
you
your
have
team.
her already. You don't gotta ask for it, man.
Well, while this is happening, I need Mauricio to roll me a dexterity save, please.
Why? She's just looking.
You're just looking. That's it. You're not touching it at all.
Just trying to understand it, not
Okay.
touch anything. She's not dumb.
All right.
I'm
We'll come back to that lovely fail in a second. The device below you is of a design you've never seen before. It is levels of complexity that you can't really ascertain just visually. You'd have to, especially if you would know this, you'd have to go down and actually get a good look and mapping of what's happening. What is undeniable is that there is energy being pumped into it, and it is being basically shunted up here. So it's got to be some kind of transformer from like a magical perspective to attenuate currents. Like maybe a magical dam in some way might be a little more period specific, as I don't think transformers exist in this realm. But yeah, it'd be something like that. Something is changing the flow, if not the potency, of the magic they're pulling from the ley line, and it's likely that, or it is that. You're just not sure how, and it very clearly links into this particular area. So this would be the runoff for that, one of the runoffs for that particular energy source.
Tell me this.
Oh,
I have no interest in understanding necessarily how the whole thing works. What I'd love to know, if I break it up here, can I cause some sort of overload down there?
Roll me an intelligence check.
And to clarify, I'm not just smashing stuff for people sighing at me. See this?
I was not sighing, I was face palming.
Either way.
Get into your hand after you facepalm.
I'm just thinking, like, if you cut off a water supply at the edge, depending on the pressure, it's not compressible, so it'll cause a problem further up in the system.
Correct. Depends on the system and how it's
Yeah,
built.
there's a lot of variables here that I'm not
yes.
smart enough to know in real life.
Yeah, there's the complexity of the machine below seems like there's a lot of effort in not barbecuing yourself from tapping into something like this, right? So you would for sure disrupt the production up here. As to what you would have to destroy to make it a problem is definitely a means for discussion. And with a 14, you're not entirely sure if it would backlog. It might in some way send like some kind of element of back pressure back down to that thing momentarily, but enough to damage it significantly is a tough call.
All right. Well, if it's not super obvious that it would work, I'm not going to just start banging on stuff, but there's a serious threat down there. So if I could cause some sort of explosion, I'd be happy about
100%. I get it. I do get it.
So, Effie, I tried to figure this thing out, and then I got dizzy. So maybe you could look at because he used the thing to electrocute us. What if we could use the thing to electrocute them? If maybe they're connected, or I don't know. Man, my head hurts. And then she goes, sit down. This is for the crit fail. Me personally, I think I would do better. But that crit fail, she's gonna go sit down by a crate.
That's so fair, bestie. Yeah, Effie will just like go to a chair in this place, sit down, and be like, anybody with magic stuff, like one single file line, please. No pushing, no shoving. We'll make it happen.
Roll me an Arcana or an Intelligence check for the question Marcia asked you.
Okay. I'll go Arcana, because I get proficiency on Arcana.
You've been rolling low on the Arcana, though.
Oh, you're so rude.
I'm warming up. I'm warming up, Kit.
Man,
you gotta let me get warm.
Roll super high like you.
I'm waiting for this one right here.
I should have just made an arena and had you guys duke it out.
Incredible.
Dudes are cantankerous today. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, whoa! Ain't nobody cantankerous.
Also, well done.
Yeah.
26.
My warm-up rolls. That's all they were. Calm down.
Effie, you kind of take a hard look at Marcia, and then like the function is honestly relatively simple. Like it just funnels lightning. Like they're tapping into what would be a ground, and just funneling the electricity that is being run off. And if you just look at it for a little bit, it's not a low DC from technical perspective. Like you're just like, how did you miss it? Like it's very clearly like you tap into it. And that being said, what's there is just controlling the flow. So you can control how much energy is going into it, how much is being fed back into the particular contraption. It's really just like a tool to attenuate, what's going on with that wheel, essentially.
Vibes. Can I like pick it up and?
Oh no, it's attached to this thing right here. Like it's not, and especially not with your strength, but it's very much attached to this device.
I'll just show Mauricio the basic, like, this is how you move the lever, and we'll just like aim for the like hole that was blown in the window and just like press the button and watch the shot go off, and like that's how you do that.
I wanted to roll that just to see if she needed Fisher Price toys to understand how all this shit works, and apparently, yep. So she's just kind of listening and just like, okay.
We don't have to use the thing. Like, it's fine. We have other like ways to hurt things if we want them.
I clearly don't have it going on right now. So
the question
I just want to point out
is relevant. Oh, sorry. No,
please.
Point things out. You may be answering my question.
I'm not. I guarantee you, I'm not. Good.
Do we see a way that leads down? Because the elevator only had this, and unless we want to drop 100 feet.
Yeah, it's through that shaft we can go down that thing.
We can fall down that thing.
Give me an investigation.
I mean, I'm a monk. I can fall down. It's not a problem.
Yeah, well, that's great. How you gonna bring everybody else with you?
I'm not gonna. You figure that shit out yourself, man. Not your fault.
See
You
these
went for-
boys?
went for
Look
armor.
at these.
That's fine. I'm saying that's your problem when you're fighting a demon. by
Came in and
yourself.
he's just thrown hands.
It's just swinging at everyone today.
All right.
Yeah.
So 19 investigation. There is, and not displayed on the map, but behind where those tanks are, there's like maintenance level, like ladders essentially that go all the way down. The other thing that you've noticed is there's like an element of isolation, but you can take basically 2 ladders, 125 feet down if you want to. They're very exposed positions, but that is a way of going down there. That works.
All right, I found the way down, but it's not great.
That way being,
Ladders, which are,
yeah, I don't think we want to do that.
well, it's that a fall, so if we're going down, I'd prefer the ladder to the quick way, but
Oh,
Ooh.
we lost a need.
What if? Well, the problem is we'd have to climb down the ladders and hope that they don't notice us climbing down the ladder.
like I say, it's not great.
125 feet with
I
the
am
ladder.
Foozca.
Can you imagine though if they just slowly climb down these ladders and then the demons look up and they're just like, and then finishes hoping that the demon's just like, all right, fine, we'll wait. All right, what are you doing down here? That's
Oh,
impossible.
God.
So, unless there's another way that we can find, it might not be. I mean, it feels like we should probably go down there, but unless someone's got a better way than ladders.
That elevator had other buttons on it too, didn't it?
Well, I had one other
Yeah.
button.
I think Effie is going to look to Coraline, and Coraline, and just say, music helped us out before. Do you think that this music room could give us some sort of advantage? Because I'm getting very, very tired fighting minions, and I don't want to fight minions all throughout this castle until we get to whatever turned my spider into a demon.
Okay.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that.
She would the whole time you guys would have been like talking back and forth and not talking to her. You would have seen her once again going back to that thing she was doing where she was just constantly praying and shit. But when you talk to her, she'd look up at you and go, just shaking her head. Honestly, I don't know what the harp will do. I know the Lord Milo wants it, but I don't know what it will do.
So we should find it.
You could?
And besides, I'm with Effie here. I think we've been spending way too much time picking a fight with everything we come across in our path, and that's a whole. What did you call that demon down there? It looks like it'll be a big problem.
A Baylor or a Pit Fiend? It was one of those two.
Pitfing.
I haven't done demonology in a while, but
those are the words of the words.
bad news.
I mean, getting tired or not, that's what we're here to do. You don't take the keep by letting everybody stay.
What I mean is, we're after something very clear, the goal, and I think maybe if we get our hands on either the harp or the battery, then the rest of the stuff will be easier to clear out. Maybe. Seems like those are some pretty potent artifacts.
My
Coraline,
best guess is that's the battery down there.
Coraline, make me a religion check, please.
Not that I'm saying we should do that first. All this roll happens.
Okay. Kid's gonna make one right now. And we're going to roll religion at normal. Where is religion? I don't know what I rolled.
Beth is 13.
Oh, that's bad.
13.
Hey, you have a 0 in it. That's great.
The last, 3 rolls have had +0s.
Given the nature of Milil and the artifacts that you're aware of just through legend and history, the harp wouldn't necessarily be great for martial situations or elements of violence. It could have kind of social effects in terms of perhaps having maybe a charm effect or something to that degree, but it's not like you're getting the sword of Valis and are about to incinerate demons with one shot. They would still be, as far as you understand, a slug.
Okay, so we could use it to maybe be hey, can you let us on through here?
That also is probably predicated on somebody being able to play the harp, because Milil is about artists and artistry, and yeah, that would be element number 2 to this.
Okay,
but you do the dancey music stuff, right?
I mean, I should be able to play, but I'm mostly a dancer. I could give it a shot if you want, but we'll see how it goes.
It's not giving me a lot of confidence.
We haven't even seen it yet, right? We're just assuming it's in the general direction. And also, just for clarity, do we have anywhere else we can go right now? Because the elevator, this is as far down as it took us. And then apparently the battery is beneath us. And what are our options other than
there's the music room, which is where the harp would make sense to be. But, maybe if I wanted people not to find a harp, I wouldn't put it where all the music happens. It's a little on the nose.
And that was from the elevator?
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, it had a music picture on it. I don't know if it's actually a music room. We haven't been there.
Yeah, there were 3 pictures on it.
I was not paying attention.
I remember 2 pictures. What was the last picture?
Push a button and hope that we go. I feel like no matter what room we're going into, there's going to be some issue that we're going to have to likely fight to death.
Oh, it's going to be great. But what's the other picture? I remember this picture that got us here, and then the music picture. Was there another picture?
She's not going to go to the elevator and instead of talking about it.
Okay, follow the Claren. The monk. Follow the monk.
If you go to so what, you just trying to see how many pictures are there?
Yeah, what they are.
Okay. There's no perception. You're just looking at a 1-by-1 picture, essentially. There is a music note, like the clef, the treble clef, which was made fun of by Joe, and then the other picture has changed. Well, it still is a gear, but you've noticed that the gear is of a different style.
Hey, Joe. Not Joe. Brannigan. The gear picture that was on here before seems to have changed in shape. I think you identified the other one, right?
Well, it was a gear and it was proper dwarven, mate. Let's take a look at this one. Do I know anything about Gear 1 versus Gear 2?
Is it a Gear more?
Give me the intelligence check.
I think Effie and Anita have the instinct that that's just the room that we left.
We hate to see that, Joe.
I mean, that was my assumption, but I don't know what gears would be relative to the roof.
Yeah.
This is the part where elevators usually have their control room at the roof, but
this is also of dwarven make, but this is a more refined gear, kind of indicating that it's a higher level of engineering in that regard. It's likely not the roof because there was no elements of engineering on the roof outside of architecture. So, and wonky architecture at that. Yeah, you would notice that this was like a smaller, more refined kind of sprocket, if you will, to be used for more delicate tasks.
All right, well, it's still proper dwarven, mate, so that's, you'd like to see it, but it's less like, the first one was for a honking great machine kind of thing, and this is for something specialised, smaller probably, more finicky, harder to make. So on the one hand, the thing below us is definitely a honking great machine, but it's also probably more complicated than this one. So there's a chance this takes us down further now. Or we can go to the music room. Or we can go down the ladder. I vote no ladder.
It'd probably be better to avoid the super demon. Because
we got to kill the super demon at some point.
We do, but maybe there's a better way to get to that floor than being exposed.
Well, this button here, maybe.
Yeah, and Nanners, the
Yes.
battery that Effie saw down there
Yes.
does not seem to be the battery that she was sent here for, correct?
No, it's more of a
Okay.
transformer. It's not a battery per se. This is a transformer. This is something that is converting the energy.
Yeah, I think Effie's not trying to ignore a summon from anybody's god in the group. And I feel like if Malil sent you here for a treble clef or a harp or whatever, we should probably go find the treble clef and get some clues on the harp. We've seen some battery stuff. Now we should see some harp stuff to even it out.
Whatever floor we go to, may I suggest, and this could backfire if we don't do it right, we bring at least one of those gems with us, and when the doors open on the next floor, if there are hostiles, we roll it in and then blow it up, just to give ourselves a advantage.
Oh, Effie definitely wanted to just take one with her, or with the group, because that good spell energy. Effie loves that shit. But we can also take some for exploding if we have the muscle power for it. Effie doesn't have a lot of muscles. Let me check
My shit's
Effie's
negative.
muscle
I'm with you.
stat.
Yeah, Mauricio's gonna look directly at our paladin and not paladin.
He is full on just focused on where the devils and that they just killed were in the room, while everyone else was scattered doing other things. He
Are you
looked up for a
still-
second.
Are you still watching that hole? Are you
Me?
still looking down? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
Oh, hot garbage, Nenners. Maybe 12? Let's go look.
Okay. You can, if you're actively looking, give me a perception.
Ha! It's 11. It's worse than I thought. All right. Here's a perception check for you. Oh shit!
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Shit!
Because you're focusing and your teammates are, yapping about not important things to you behind you.
He's just
You-
at the top of it, salivating. I'd love to stab you. No, okay, good.
You hear what sounds like a door being shattered, and it's hard to maintain the concentration because there's so much gears grinding, stuff arcing all over the place. But you hear wood splintering, and you watch as the pit fiend kind of turns around and just bringing its kind of hateful gaze to whatever is behind, and immediately become into more of a defensive stance. Do you speak Abyssal by any chance?
Oh no, I don't think I do. Let me check. I do not.
Can you pretend?
You see, if you're looking down, and with the perception, I'll actually drop this thing down for you. I'll show you what you see. But you see a rather large, huge, but somewhat androgynous, extremely graceful, four-limbed demon comes sauntering up. Literally sauntering up. Every movement that it has is just fluid. It's graceful, but as there's an element of predation to it, almost like a snake kind of getting ready to sting somebody or bite somebody. And you see it just begin to converse very eloquently with this with the pit fiend, and the pit fiend's not having any of it. It is speaking initially in Abyssal. It will switch to Infernal. Do you speak Infernal? Okay.
No. Does it look like
I will show
like
you.
straight demon or demonic, or it doesn't look like those dragony boys that I mean, I know what it is, but Moody
I'm
kinda
gonna
doesn't
use
yet.
your perception check because
Okay.
you're looking at the same thing.
Mhm.
And it's got like very pale gray skin, and the thing that and these kind of horns, and it's got like chains that link into its face from the horns, and it's honestly more like for show than anything else. But one thing that you do note is that it does have an extra digit on each of the hands that it has, essentially. Not on the ones that don't end in claws. And
Does it have more than 2 hands?
yeah, it's got 4. It's got 4 arms.
Okay.
2 end in
Okay.
hands, 2 end in claws. I'll show you. Like I said, I'm
Got
just
it.
setting it up over
Okay.
here.
No,
so you
you're
can
cool. It sounds
see
good.
what's essentially
Amazing.
happening. But as a demon hunter of your background, you would know that is a sign of Grast. Grast is known to have 6 digits. A lot of his offspring exhibit that trait as well. So give me one
Cool.
second here.
That's
so you
normal.
and based
Yeah,
on the body language here,
And I think Effie would have said that like Grast was one of the demon lords that held Mistra hostage at the beginning of this.
With your vision, the sight that you had.
Yeah.
Okay.
and given your again, you study these creatures. This is your hobby, is killing these motherfuckers. You know it is. You have minutes at best before battle breaks out. This is, Grast is obviously a high-ranking demon lord. Whatever his spawn is here is obviously, either cocky enough or dumb enough to challenge a pit fiend to combat. But he's also not alone. Behind him, you see a kind of it's really weird. It's a combination. Like, imagine somebody walking on a slow conveyor belt. It's what looks like a rotund knight, but entirely made of ooze. And he's sliding and kind of walking at the same time. And it's not nearly as graceful as the creature you see in front of you. But there's an element to kind of like a level of coordination that it's currently making. And to the left of him is this orange furred, like absolutely jacked bugbear with 2 axes in his hands, and just like the orange fur head to toe, and what looks like a new kind of symbol of
He's not my dad.
Of Baphomet carved into his chest.
Nanners, are you saying these demons could get it?
Oh no!
I mean, let me show.
Because I feel like that's what you're communicating to us.
Oh boy. Give me 1 second. I will move you over.
If I was playing Speeda, I'd be asking how jacked these guys are, but okay.
That's gonna be real awkward for Twandy.
God.
So that's essentially
no.
what you're seeing right now is
Oh, look at the night.
That man is barely dressed. Okay, hold on. Let me show what's going on here. Oh no, I knew.
That's what I thought it was.
I had a feeling. Oh no.
He is barely dressed, and that other guy's not wearing clothes. See, Bugbear, barely dressed. I did it. Hey, Carpe.
Hi, Carpe.
Is that art from Warhammer?
Oh, we just got rated.
It is. Yep.
I feel like, okay.
Oh,
Totally is.
Carpe, hope you had an awesome stream. Thank you so much.
What's up,
for
Carpe?
coming by.
I am glad to see that the Dumbarian is doing well.
Well, we'll see. Oh god.
The dumb variant is kind of like, I don't know if anyone played Marvel vs. Capcom, but Wolverine, he's like he's just like, let me loose. Like it's almost as if someone actually has a leash on him. But yeah, wow. It's quite the trio right now that is conversing at the moment.
Yes, Nenners, tell me more about how smooth and seductively this head demon is talking about. Paint a picture. Paint a word picture, please.
Paint a word picture. It is it's very naturally fluid. I don't know if you ever watch somebody who just like walks with grace, carries himself in a way that is just a combination of confidence and competence. It's just like they exude this kind of aura of like you feel drawn to them, honestly. Like there's another element of Grast being the seducer and the grand kind of person in that regard. This one doesn't fall far from the tree. It's like it's almost like a train wreck, and that you can't take your eyes off them. Like you have to physically like, okay, I'm gonna look over here. Like you just there's an element of interest that seems both like from a beauty standpoint and supernatural at the same time, that just kind of pins you to this creature. But yeah, it is a force to what's also interesting, if you give me a wisdom save to see if you can see through elements of it. It's not like a no. You're probably like, man, it's time to eat. I'm talking about Effie. Give me a wisdom save to see if you can see deeper.
I was trolling. I was doing a little bit of trolling. As far as I understood, Effie and the rest of the group were talking about other unimportant shit. And
not for nothing, this is not the first time you have threatened to switch sides because people be thick. And I'm just saying, Brannigan will be sad. He won't hesitate. We're here for the side of good.
I mean, I'm sure they do many things very good. But
how do you do that app, though?
But yes, that's essentially that is what you're seeing. And like I said, you have mere moments, like not moments. You probably have a minute where there looks like there's a bit of a discussion, mostly one-sided from the new demon's point of view. But the Pit Fiend is.
I will say, Moody, you wouldn't know that Effie speaks Abyssal and Infernal. If you wanted a translator. If not,
I genuinely think as this was happening, as everyone was like yammering, he'd like look up for a second and see everyone be like, what's the button? Let's go look at the button. Right? He's gonna be like, okay. Just like focus on this. Just because that's his intention essentially as he looks down here. I think in knowing that it seems to be a matter of time before a clash seems to happen, I think right as everyone's kind of like, okay, so let's go to the Trouble Clef, that he'll speak up and be like, by the way, we have more guests down there and they're going to fight each other. We have a representative from Grass, Baphomet, and I forgot the other one. He would know what it is, but the third one, Jubilex, thank you. About to have this fight for us. So if you're interested, we might be able to see what happens, and maybe capitalize on whatever fight they're doing.
Do we have any popcorn?
I don't know if there's enough space for all of our faces to watch at the same time, but it's about to go down.
Yeah, let's
gonna jog over.
Yeah, let's be sneaky, and look down. And if they can kill each other and both sides end up very, very weak, then we can just
throw the bombs down,
swoop in at the end, clean up.
It'll be a lot easier to climb down on our ladders if they're all dead.
Oh, Lord.
I just imagined us trying to climb down the ladders as they're fighting and someone like shoots us down. It's like the funniest thing ever. But sorry.
Yeah, unless our servant of Melil has some urge to go to the harp, to the treble clef, for clues about the harp.
She would not be against you guys going after this right now. She would want the harp because the Lord Melil is very insistent about the things he wants. But if you guys want to go after these guys, she's not going to say no.
We should at least see how this plays out so we can know what to expect going forward.
Anyone have formal training on religion?
Yeah.
Roll me religion checks if you want.
In backstory or proficiency? Because one of those is true.
Yeah.
Backstory. Would your backstory include an education in Melil? Because if that's yes, then
no.
Religion, yes. Melil, probably not.
So
Yeah,
religion's
yeah,
fine. The religion, religion, in my opinion, covers the basis of all gods.
There's probably
You might
some,
not know like the nitty ditty on.
I don't have
like,
proficiency in it, but I'm a cleric. Like I had to learn something.
Yeah. If so, for like I would say for you, the dwarven pantheon would make sense, right?
Yeah.
You would know what would be adjacent or that would intersect with your
Yeah.
god.
What about the god of those long ear guys?
Of those
I-
long ear guys.
That's
I
mostly
have
who worships Malil, by the way.
but I feel like I should roll at disadvantage because if he came across Will, he'd be like, "Get that shit out of here!" Like, not look at it.
All right, if you want to self-impose, I will stop you.
I will self-impose disadvantage because I
Okay.
don't see him paying much attention to it. Okay, that's correct. Never heard of her.
Mauricio and Effie just made the cut for me. Malil isn't actually one to demand. It wants to inspire. It wants to be a muse. It wants to kind of be a font of creativity and celebrate that creativity. That something's being demanded of its followers infers, in the very least, a very strong form of punishment or atonement that is currently being done.
Yeah, I think Anita and Effie both have like ideas about what's going on. I don't think Effie would like say anything out loud. I'm gonna whisper something to you though, Nenners, personally.
Okay. Sounds good. Hit me.
And yeah.
All right, and yeah, so I'll leave that to you guys to do what you will. But I will say, in like, as you guys are discussing, about 2 to 3-ish minutes, stuff's gonna go down.
Moody's full watching, just
Okay.
having a good time.
All right.
Placing bets.
Oh, by the way, Nurse, how long has it been since we actually came into this room?
I'd say like 15, 20 minutes.
All right,
total
we got
between
we have Path Without a Trace, by the way, so 40, 35 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
40, 50. What am I wrong? 40, 45. Okay.
And you guys can't, because Effie isn't there, so you're not understanding essentially what's being said. But
I'm content to wait for them to kill each other, but if people would rather go do other things, I could be persuaded. But this is a great opportunity to kill the winner.
Yeah. Effie will just take note behind, then go up and just sort of like translate for the group quietly, just like an episode of Jerry. I don't know.
okay. If you're translating, you hear now speaking both in Infernal, and the accent in this is posh. It's very high educated, very eloquent in the words that they select, far more so than myself. But it's just teasing, and you hear from the oh god, hold on. I just had his token here. Why did I lose it? Give me 1 second. So it happens when you have too many freaking NPCs. You forget all the what the I will find it in a second. There it is. Okay. It's speaking in this oh, Dagos, don't you remember the last time we danced? It was so intimate, a little bloody, but we got around to it. I've never had a partner like that, and I've been dreaming of this day ever since.
Oh,
but
this is juicy.
and it's just it's just going back and forth.
Is this the Thundering guy who's talking, or who's talking?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
He's just
Yeah.
Okay.
it was a dance. The moon was out. The blood was flowing. You were moving, and I was twirling around you.
Okay, I'm
This
just curious.
minute is
How would that be
so
laying
wet.
down
Yeah.
right now?
Let me.
And it's just, and I could see how eager you are to join again, but war isn't what we always need. I mean, I'm always down for a dance or two, but if you wanted to save you and your men's life, you can leave now, and we'll just destroy the facilities, and you can go about your way.
This is game and trash talk.
And Dagos is like just doesn't like. How do you respond to that, right? It's just but like in almost manifesting out of rage, you watch as like a great sword begins to kind of like slowly come into being of just pure fire. And he just kind of slams it down on the thing, and you watch as it begins to kind of melt through the grate a little bit of just how hot it is.
The most phallic of weapons.
Yes. Oh, I see you're ready. Okay. Well, I guess if it has to be, it has to be. We'll see if you can actually reach me this time. And you watch as it, from that word, begins to just approach it in like one step, covers like 15 feet in the most kind of graceful little like dash to the left, kind of anticipating an attack from the right. Give me a who here's the marshals? Give me wisdom checks just to see from a perception, excuse me, just to see if you can kind of anticipate what's going on here.
That's the same as roll perception or wisdom.
All right. So the monks pick this up. Despite all of this creature's like talking and like how it like saunters and moves, there's a lot of strategy involved. It is intentionally like giving itself like a weak flank to attack, and is preparing a counterattack to like dodge. Like everything about it is deceit. Every time you look at it, it's showing a face, but you can see through like, oh, it's already leading with the opposite foot. It's getting ready for the counter blow. It's a very kind of dangerous creature. But it immediately, they both kind of clash together, and I'll just roll a couple of attack rolls. But yeah, they're basically going to just begin brawling. I will make a couple of rolls to myself to kind of narrate what's going on, but it like the fight is on at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah,
As I think, like as Effie is translating everything, there's just gonna be a second where Moody's like, "Could you keep that to yourself? I have a different dialogue in my head." Like, it's eventually just gonna like plug up his ears, and like a 7-year-old playing with action figures is gonna like imagine them being like, "My sword is bigger. No, mine is bigger." Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, Nenners, I need to know this. I need to know this for reasons. How big is that sword?
You don't need to know for any reasons.
I need to know.
The blade itself is probably like 6 feet long.
Okay, how about the handle? Does he got a two-hand that thing, or
It's a great sword.
He's all right. So, like pit fiends are basically like rage, like they're like controlled rage is the best way to describe them. It is not short on muscles by any means. It has no problem wielding this thing with one hand, and obviously is not taking any level of fire damage from it. But from the clang on the metal that you felt, like you heard, it's a heavy sword, and it's swinging it one-handed. But there is room for two if it wants it. But yeah,
My money's on the guy who forgot his shirt.
Just kind of watching the scene unfold. Just like
Wild.
Hate.
That's the name of its blade.
man.
I didn't sound like it was pit feet. Okay.
And as it's coming up, you watch as from the more sensual demon, if you will, there's a whip that kind of is manifesting out of its hand in addition to its sword. Not dissimilar that from a Balor, it's just a very different style. So it will also attack itself.
Okay, hold on. It's
just
the whip.
over there, like
Caress?
slowly watching, like, you know what?
Yeah, caress is the whip.
He's
lover's
trying to
hand.
caress a
Lover's
this
hand
man's
Yep.
as an attack.
I think Nenners.
That's the name of its sword. But yeah, it is. That is essentially what's happening. They're gonna attack each other, and, do all kinds of horrible things to each other. But yeah, so it's just lightning coming off the sword, flames like coming through and like singeing its hair, and like they're just kind of going back and forth, trading blows. They seem honestly pretty evenly matched for what is going on. The bugbear will. Yep, he's gonna run up and then leap and land right next to this mind flayer guy and begin to kind of engage here, and then just from like a tactical perspective, just see what's going on. He is going to This guy kind of dissolves into an ooze itself and begins to kind of, because he can't really get in between here, and is going to slime his way over to this particular group, and that's essentially what's happening. There's just like an all-out fight breaking out right here. Yeah. So, yeah.
Back, shouted to everyone, attack, and it's something I don't remember the rest of the words to Ballroom Blitz, but this is what it is.
Ballroom Blitz. Anywho, that is essentially what you guys are seeing. What do you want to do?
Anne told us not to forget to ask if watching counts as a short rest.
If it takes an hour,
what were you saying?
No D&D fight has ever taken an hour in D&D time.
Yeah, but I feel like Smooth Demon over there is probably going to try to prolong this as long.
Oh no, yeah, he sounds like the kind of dude who do some endurance stuff here.
Nah.
What is this discussion? Okay, anywho, that's
you put star-crossed lovers in front of us, Nenners. This is on you.
I mean, they don't look like they look
they're
like they
on
want to kill each
opposite
other.
sides of the Fiend War, and they're the history. I'm invested in this story now. I want to know.
Yeah.
If you'd like to know how it ends, then we'll die.
You want to do it again?
And the thing is, they can kill each other because they just pop back up in the fiendish flames, and then they can go at it again. It's
the love that never ends.
The long story short is, Nenners, this is your fault. You put this play in front of us.
I don't blame Nenners. Nenners. This is very much like the party that adopts every animal they see. We just with this group just does it with first.
I need the romance novel.
Well, that ain't this.
Yeah, I forgot to. I had it like halfway typed out. I'll respond to you in a second.
I mean, I will give you that the attack's called Lover's Hand. There's some elements that aren't.
Caress and Lover's Hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is both of those things.
But one of them is a whip and one of them is a sword, so it's not as romantic as we're making it.
Yeah.
It's not. But it is hilarious.
Yes. Yeah. For sure.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's essentially what you guys are seeing.
Also, Nubs is here.
Nubs.
I love you guys.
But he's here.
All right, yeah. Who wins?
Anne's got a point. Is this tagged as a mature stream or no?
I think it has to be now, right?
Yeah.
I had to be so careful getting the art for some of these guys. It's like, oh no, that's a little too much. But yeah,
I'm just imagining Nenners alone on his computer looking up art and being like, I've gone too far.
Too much. Gonna get through this channel flag.
Amazing.
But anywho,
I need some water.
Yeah, I just watching, really. Listening and watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to run combat without you guys being involved.
No,
I feel that's like super
fine.
boring for you. But yeah, I mean, you would see that the mind flayer would be like trying to mentally stop. Actually, yeah, you would see first off, the bugbear is bigger than any bugbear you've probably ever seen, and you watch the little midget guy like do what looks like a mind blast from this particular direction. You can see the debris and everything kind of blow off as it shoots it out, and there's like kind of a demonic symbol that flares all over his head and seems to kind of shield him from some of it as he begins to just tear into this poor little bastard. Mind flayers don't typically, especially little ones, incur elements of sympathy, but this is not a fair fight by any means. Yeah, it's. But anybody here from Waterdeep?
Yes, that's session 1. Just a fun little coinkydink. No, I'm from Mirror Near Waterdeep, but not from Waterdeep.
I'm from Thurskin.
No matter what matchup you put down there, it is still the sexiest D&D fight I've ever bared witness to.
Yeah, and it's Yeah, and even the way like this thing whips it, it's like it whips it around its waist, and, like pulls it in. It takes a shot for it, but is just like blowing its kisses and like moving, like spinning it around, and it's like
tell me about the whip. Tell me about how big this bugbear is. Tell me,
tell me something relevant if we can.
How is he moving his hips, Stonenders? How flexible are
we
they?
don't need to know. I have actual D&D.
Doing like the bend dodge, like from the hip down.
You're
like
all
the blade
terrible.
comes and it's like, yeah, it's and it's spiraling around. It is for this creature, it's a dance. And even when it takes a shot, it like gracefully kind of gets changes the momentum in its favor. It is as opposed to its opponent who's just like it is ferocity. You would not want to be on the receiving end of any of those strikes. Anywho,
Are you sure?
I mean, maybe you would. I don't know what your deal is, but we don't kink shame. What are you guys doing?
Well, I was trying to ask a question, and then everybody's
did
getting
not
all
look for that.
thirst.
I apologize.
No, it's good. I'm just saying, maybe for the sake of brevity, everybody just dial it up to exactly how sexy you want it to be in your own head, and then everybody wins.
Right,
As far as our group is concerned, we want this machine down there to be turned off, destroyed. Yes,
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Did the shirtless one not say they wanted to shut off the machine?
Correct.
Yeah,
All right, okay. So there's a team we would prefer to win.
yeah. We'll just root for the demons, the demon side of the demon devil fight, and I don't know if it looks like the demons are. I don't know. We can join in on the fight when it looks like one side or the other is gaining a pretty heavy advantage.
Oh, I think we should let the fight end, and if the demons win, we let them break the machine and then kill them. But if the devils win, we kill them and then break the machine.
Got you.
I think
That's my vote.
Will is going to reluctantly kind of peel herself away from the fight and then go bring one of the gym crates over just to get that in position so he can drop it and blow it up.
I think there's gonna be a moment where Moody leans over to Effie and is like, as he's watching still, but so those are all representatives of who has your goddess captive, but they're also doing what we're kind of trying to do.
Oh yeah,
Seems weird.
demons and devils hate each other. It's a whole thing.
I'm aware, but it's weird that they're. I don't know. It seems like maybe their goal is the same as ours right now. The demons, at least.
Well, if I had the God of Magic locked up and I could get myself a magic battery that I could plug into the God of Magic, I think I'd want it. So I think we both want the same thing, but not the same thing, if that makes sense.
I understand. There's also
Back to the crate.
in no world am I going to let any of those guys probably.
Oh
walk
no,
back
we're gonna
alive.
kill him good and
But
dead.
right, but it just seems interesting that's. I mean, she sent you to
Enemy
get
of
them.
my enemy thing.
Why are you kicking us?
I'm jealous.
It
I'm a
looks
little bit
delicious.
jealous. That looks
I got cake.
delicious.
I'm happy.
I love that for you, Kit.
Joy.
But yeah, it's a sort of enemy of my enemy thing, you know?
Mm.
Like, the demons are, in all of my experience, demons will always be on site with devils. Devils are more schemy, like in at least my education.
Not necessarily in this case. He's like watching the really like graceful demon
This is
talking shit the whole time.
this
pretty much.
is a melodrama. I actually need to read this book. Like this seems like a very steamy romance novel that I just need a bard that has been well traveled to like write this shit down. This is incredible. Did he just call call his whip lover's caress?
He sure
That's
I mean, they're not shouting the names of their weapons, are they? There's no way we know that.
They might be doing that anime shit. We don't know.
Right.
That is
I think
correct.
that there would be like some. Oh, you remember Crest, don't you?
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
Lover's hands.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Anyway, I'm gonna look down at this
Yeah.
fight to the death, and then look back at Effie. I really hope that you've never had a relationship and thought this is what love is, because this is not. You deserve better than whatever this is.
Does love not take many forms, sir?
I'm gonna ignore that because it's not worth responding to. Love isn't trying to kill each other.
Mercio's gonna put the crate down and be like, all right, who's in the lead?
Okay. So it
Yeah, if you
sounds
don't want
like,
to roll combat, you just gotta pick who wins.
yeah. So I would say pretty quickly off the bat, the poor little Illithid guys get annihilated, and it seems like they were targeted, especially from like anyone who's familiar with the Blood War. It is very much demons and devils will fight on sight. Doesn't matter what the hell's going on, right? That is the end goal. So for them to like branch off and attack them specifically, infers some level of instruction going on. But they do try to put up a fight, but it's just, one seems to be shielded by runes, and the other one, from an observer standpoint, doesn't really seem to have a mind to attack. And ooze is very well suited to absorb and redirect like force style energy. So it neither of them do well. I would say the one that is fighting the bugbear just gets cleaved in two, like from navel to the chops kind of situation, just splits into a grotesque like two halves of a sandwich kind of situation. And the other one,
A quick question about the bugbear, if you don't mind. Sorry.
Sure.
Does he? I mean, I know he has the symbol of Baphomet on him, but is he?
Yep.
Does he look demonic, or is he just like that's a big bugbear?
you are seeing traces of demonic hints. Like bugbears are not like small creatures by any means, but his muscle mass is like next level. There's also through his hair you can see like two kind of tiny horns beginning to grow, and you know that they're like gonna grow bigger because the bases are big. It's just that they are like probably like 2 or 3 inches coming out. But there is elements of that, and some of his like more of like feral features are a little more exaggerated. Teeth a little too long, claws a little too long as well. Just like hints of some kind of demonic influence.
Okay, that's all. Sorry, you can go ahead with the fun.
Demon Roy. Sorry for that. All right. Yes, he's on a demonoid cycle. But yeah, so those two would be pretty much eliminated really quick, and then they would end up fighting these two. And I would say, despite the fewer number of people here, they brought bigger guns to the fight. Between the two, these all seem to be kind of champions of their respective lords, whereas this guy just kind of had 2 scientists and like not even an honor guard, just a couple other devils with them. They're powerful devils, but just not at this level. So
Mauricio's gonna kind of like look at the others and be like, I'm not sure we want this fight. If this is she's just looking at how the bugbear like have that guy. It's just like, I don't think any of those could survive that.
yeah, it's
I mean,
intense.
It looks like the demons are getting hit though in there.
Yeah,
It's not
there's
like a
definitely an
one-sided
exchange.
massacre.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, like yeah, I think to Effie it seems like those creatures are going down. Like it seems like an easier fight if we want to like. It seems like an easier fight. So I think Effie's still like down to jump them post fight.
Gotcha.
Is gonna like look around for a second and third opinion though.
That was.
I will say,
See how you have that guy? That was not.
they aren't going to be an easy kill after this fight, which is what I was hoping for. But maybe if that new gear on the elevator takes us to where we need to get the battery, we can do that while they're all distracted. And then go get the hop. And if they're here to shut down that machine, as long as we have the battery, we're fine.
I hate to admit it, it is probably a race to the battery with these three assholes.
Yeah,
I'd love to kill him good, but
We
after
probably
watching
won't.
them.
Just not now. Yeah.
Let's get moving. She's still kind of like trying to peel herself away from it with the crate. Like,
Mm.
All right. So what's the gang doing?
Reluctantly trudging into the elevator.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
All right.
just dragging his spear the whole time. No, I'm kidding.
I think to make us feel a little bit better, I will take the crate that Marisa grabbed. I'll just nudge it so it's like halfway, like so that it might fall if something gets knocked hard enough.
oh,
And
smart.
maybe something will set it off. It's a low odd, but who
Yeah,
knows?
there.
Maybe that'll do something. It probably won't kill any of them, but
Yeah. Yep. We'll keep it there as a potential issue. I'll factor that in.
Effie's just gonna watch the two like leaders that were just like talking shit at each other and just like bite her nail a little bit before like standing up and following the allies.
That's awesome. The you guys are going. Are you bringing anything to the elevator from this room?
Yeah,
I hear.
another of the crates.
So one crate. Anything else?
Effie wanted to take one of the big balls and just put him in the pack if that is
Okay.
feasible.
You're taking the. You're talking about the crystals, right? With the energy in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. You can absolutely put that in your bag of holding or pack or whatever you have there. All right. So we got one in the bag, one in a crate. Was there anything else that was being investigated or taken before we move? All right.
There's nothing else in this room to take, is there? I think we looked around.
Not as far as you can tell.
I mean, does one of those
I mean-
have records in it? 'Cause I'll take that.
There are blueprints and stuff you can take. There's crate boxes you can grab. There's
I
stuff
think
like that.
like the frogish person was like gathering up some blueprints of some kind. I thought that Effie said she had like taken those
Yep.
to like read later. Like she still has those, but other
So-
than that,
We'll say all the blueprints in the room you guys were taking with you and 2 crystals. One in a pack, one in a crate. That sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get you guys packed in there. Give me. No, that should work too. All right, let's go.
I'm just putting this out there. If the precariously placed gem falls and gets a kill, I think we deserve a level up. If the dice determine that is the result that causes the kill,
And you're just on the elevator and suddenly we do the being level up animation.
Yeah.
You feel it?
we're gonna do it.
All
You
right.
were ready. Like obviously, it's a group earn, but you had it set up, Mauricio, and I nudged it. So we're gonna dig. I'm just gonna give you we're gonna just fist bump. Like, yeah, we did it.
Got you.
I hate to ruin this image, but didn't Enter say that just the drop wouldn't make it explode?
But yeah, there's magic everywhere down there. I'm hoping it's gonna be low odds. That's why we deserve the level if it happens.
There's a scuffle. There's flying whips, swords, and
All
axes
sorts of
down
magic
there. You
weapons.
know.
you know,
enough.
it would be so hilarious if all of the stuff fell and nothing exploded, but it just broke one of the demon's necks, just like from
Blunt force
Just-
trauma.
a ball dropping 100 feet.
That's amazing.
I love that very
That's
much.
funny.
All right, so you guys take the elevator down. Give me an Arcana check to see how you guys are interacting with this elevator again.
Like how? What? Where are we going again? I'm
Gear room.
The
You ready
Awesome.
for the hot Arcana check?
gear room part
Music
2.
room.
Let's do it.
Look
Oh,
at that.
I got 2 answers. I got music and gear room. Which
Yeah, I thought we were going to the treble clef. We're going to the gear.
Yeah, we're going to the music room.
We're going to the gear first, then the harp room.
Yeah, the gear is what
Okay.
was suggested when everyone said let's go.
Okay, well, we'll go. We're
But that
good.
might have been misunderstood.
Okay.
We can go to the music room. That's just
No,
not what I
I-
suggested,
Alright.
and then everyone agreed to.
I apparently was zoning out too much like Moody. So no, you're good. You're good.
But then we got new information and decided music was probably
I believe Mauricio touched it first.
what?
So Mauricio, give me a
No,
roll me.
what? She wouldn't touch the buttons. She doesn't have faith.
Well,
in
that's
her.
what the roll was for.
That
Don't
was
make
what
the
the roll
roll if you
was
don't want to touch
Oh, I thought it was just to observe a
it.
thing.
Yeah, see, nobody's paying
Not
attention.
Such a thing. I'm sorry. I apologize, nurse.
That's the second time you got away. The third time you won't.
Look, I swear to God, you'd be looking at shit and you'd be like,
Effie,
"Whoa."
thankfully, interfaces correctly with this particular thing, and you feel yourself kind of begin to go down the elevator further into what is this keep. The elevator lands with a crunch, like you hear wood being like compressed and like just broken as the elevator is trying to like sink into place.
As soon as I hear the wood, we should probably go to the music room.
That's not what we're supposed to hear, right? Like that's not a good thing.
Right
Well,
after Moody says that, the door is opened, and you see the fight now at like ground level, and everyone just going.
The door.
You watch as
yeah,
the bugbear
I'm gonna
takes
I'm
the
gonna
insect
click the
over its head
close
and
door.
rips it in half. It's just
Yeah, I'm
like,
gonna just hit the
yeah.
close door button. Close
Yep.
door. Nope.
I was
My
like,
bad, my
I
bad.
always had a
Um,
feeling that that's exactly. What
I
we
knew
were
there was a
going.
chance, and as soon as
But
I
I
heard
was
the
like-
wood, I was like, "Well, we went exactly where I thought we might go."
I will say
Um,
the symbol for the gear has also changed again to yet another gear
Oh,
of a
new
different
gear.
type. Yeah. So you can close the door.
like quickly, gang. Next gear or music room? I need.
Music.
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 If there's still a chance we can get your battery, I'll think you, but that burned us once.
Mercy was just like music and like, but still kind of peeking to see how the fights go.
The demons are winning this one, and it's not looking good for the it won't be long until it's just the pit fiend that's left. But
Yeah, it seems like the elf is yelling music and the dwarf is just saying gear. So we're gonna go with the louder one and go with the music room.
Okay,
Going with
Alright.
the vocal minority has never worked well.
the door closes somewhat awkwardly due to the splintered door beneath it. Let those close and seal as you are jamming. Close door. You do. I will say, as the door is closing, and there is sound being made because there's like splintered wood being moved. You do watch as the more seductive of the two demons or fiends, I guess, turns around and looks and like takes note of you guys at the door. And you understand. It says, "Oh, fascinating." And turns over to. Do you care to make this like a foursome or something? And then goes back to fighting, and the door closes. Yeah.
I feel like he can't do simple math. There's way more than two of us, and anyway.
Yes,
Okay, are we going back up now?
you are. And I will say at this point, let's take our break before we even get to the next things. I don't want to be like, "Here's a room, take a break." Like so. Take a break now. We'll go to the music room and go from there.
Alrighty. Let me get to. Okay, here we go. We're going on break. We'll be back in 10-ish minutes or so. And
I
stuff.
appreciate
We'll be
the
back.
public here for all of this.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Barb.
Hey.
Oh
Looks
my
like
God,
a
and
gift
an
and
anonymous
subs
gift
too,
for-
whoever you are.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Fuck
Anonymous
you.
gifter. Yay.
Oh boy. Yes, we're back. I think. Right? Yes.
Yes,
Live.
we
Yeah,
are.
yes.
All right.
yeah.
Hot mic. Let's go. We had a very entertaining conversation, and you may see the fruits of that later. So, the Merry Holy team has closed the door on a surprisingly sensual but yet savage mini battle of the endless blood war that exists between fiends and demons, choosing instead to delve into the more musical side of this particular adventure, as they are slowly transported in a weird way. Before this felt like you were actually going down. This one feels like you're moving backwards from where you currently are. And I would say it takes probably like a good 5 minutes before it reaches its destination. So it gets to the point, stops, and the doors slowly open, and you see this really refined wooden staircase leading down with some paintings on the side, and what looks like kind of a moonlit interior. You'll have to kind of go downstairs more to see more. But that's essentially what you're getting. Who has? I know Corlin has a crazy passive perception. Who else has a good passive perception?
Nobody.
The other monk.
The monks.
The
That's
monks.
it. Just
Okay.
the monks.
All right. And yours is what? 15?
17.
17. Okay.
God damn it, dinners.
What, man? I was supposed to memorize all these numbers? Yeah.
You're leaving my monk to 2.
Anywho, you would both hear what sounds like shuffling. Not really shuffling. I would say walking, and then somebody like touching keys of a piano,
Like playing them or touching them?
like kind of getting it adjust. Like you're hearing the like something hard, like touch keys. Like not flesh.
Okay.
And this is before we even get to the floor.
Yeah, like the door opens, and this is what because your passive perceptions are so high, you're picking this up.
Well, I'm gonna move forward.
Mauricio, you hear that?
Yeah. Someone's playing piano. She's like reaching for the gym crate. The
Yes.
gym in the
There's
crate.
very much a be
Roll
careful
it
kind
out.
of thing. She's reaching for the gem crate. Corlin is just getting ready with her knives. Like, okay, just in case, we're gonna detonate this shit. See what happens.
I love you guys.
I mean, it's very reasonable because we're in a demon keep, but the
Of
idea that
course.
piano, we must be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know nothing of the horror of the music. Okay. Anyway.
I'm sorry. Do we see the piano or do we just hear?
We
Or
No,
they just
all
hear
you
it?
see is a
Inside, we're still
staircase
inside.
going down. I would say the railing on the staircase is really high. It's probably like 5-6 feet going down. You'd also probably notice that the stairs are abnormally long too. I'd say, I mean, the average stair is what, maybe like 10 inches. This is probably like 15, 16. It's a bit of a. Any of you short stacks would have a Brannigan. Or some of the shorter sized humans are going to have a little bit of an issue going up these quickly. Down, not so much, but.
But I am ninja.
Yes.
Does it sound like this piano? Is it like idle playing or is it just like starting a song?
It sounds like starting, perhaps, like they're resetting.
She's
I
just
didn't know
kind of
we had a piano.
offhandedly mentioned that, yeah, it seems like they're starting to play a song, which, considering everything else in this keep, might be a problem. I don't know.
Does it sound familiar, Nenners?
I'm sorry?
Reinvogel.
Posture check. It turns into stretches. You're like,
On the team.
that's awesome.
All right.
So what do I see from the bottom of the stairs?
Let me show you the map. I'm sorry. I
I
realized
was
I did
gonna
not.
say this fucking
What?
This fucking hurts.
What hurts?
Yep.
having a somewhat decent posture,
Yeah.
as declared by the mighty Vogelstadel.
Should probably work on that, buddy. It shouldn't hurt to sit straight.
Never.
Attaboy. Hold on.
Also, you gain like 85 inches of height when you sat up straight.
Oh, I know. No, I know.
He's a big dude.
I tell people this. No one listens.
I think Moody's gonna stand next to Brannigan and look down as well.
Give me one
As
second.
he's sitting there, just be like, maybe we should let the nun take the lead with all this music-y stuff going on.
Yeah, Nenders, does she recognize the sounds or no? Like, you said they're resetting, but they would be...
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. You roll me a perception check, please.
Yes, senor. Okay. Do I roll with advantage because this is the music and she is about the music?
You know what? For once, I think your bullshit's valid. Absolutely. Give me one advantage.
First time ever.
I say that with love. He knows it.
I mean, if you ask for advantage on every roll, eventually you'll get it.
Eventually, yeah. Broken clock is right twice a day.
Okay, we're rolling perception.
Yes,
Also,
please. Don't forget Fatima.
22. I did not need Fatima right now.
Okay. Well, that's a dangerous statement. All right.
Right now, I said.
Yeah, you hear them resetting, and like just very faint presses of keys are starting to come through. I forgot all of my musical education because I like hit middle school and then I stopped. So I don't know what keys are hitting. But it would be of a haunting style of melody in terms of like, I think you'd be able to like kind of put piece this together being a musician.
Okay.
And in addition, I'd say at this point, all of you would hear a kind of deep, somewhat rattly voice kind of come through in Elvish. Does anybody here speak Elvish? Moody obviously does.
I do.
Anybody else? Okay, so Moody, you would hear.
Half health, reporting for duty.
All right, so you two. That was well done. I liked what you did with the upper side of the notes there. Try working the melody back again. This might be the last concert we have after all.
Is someone getting a music lesson? What the fuck?
My God, I found the most boring room in this entire keep.
I think that Effie would like to stealthily make her way forward to just see down there and try to get a visual on what this is.
Okay, I'll need a stealth check and a
reminder that that's still going.
Okay, at plus 10.
If that's the trace, it's still
Yep. It was only 5 minutes. I mean, you literally went down, closed the elevator door. So, yeah.
17.
Yeah, you get the plus 10 at least, thank goodness.
17 from Pass Without a Trace. You kind of slip, but there's, even though your iron-heeled foot would have slammed into the wooden stair and made some noise, something about your friend's magic stops that from going further than just the immediate group.
You feel, Effie would feel very, very well balanced. What's happening right now?
Okay. And then I just need your perception check if you don't mind. Oh, I didn't copy you guys over. I didn't show you the map. I'm fucking up. Hold on.
Have not there. No.
Give me a sec.
You really want to keep this in the hot?
Nana, is the perception check?
It's just to see if you pick up extra details. You'll see what's basically happening, but this is just to kind of see if you pick up anything else in addition to.
That's a good roll, though. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a great roll.
That's a 13.
That's huge. That's higher.
Oh, now a 13's great.
No, I was just gonna say that's a 16. You gotta
16
give
minus
credit where
3.
credit is due.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If we're calling out the 3s when they're 3s, we gotta call out the 16s when they're 16.
I do want to point out that's considerably more. That's multiplicatively more than Maya's first 3 rolls tonight. So, it's.
What are you looking at right now?
It's true. She rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3 like right off the bat. I was like, oh, poor Maya's really. She's making a run.
She's
for
in it
presidency.
tonight. It's
Yeah,
okay. We're good. We're good.
That campaign is strong. All right. Did I move you over? I did not. I'm stupid. Here you go. This is where you're at.
can always rely on minions to be like.
I got you, girl. All right, so you're leaning over, and probably the thing that takes your attention immediately is what is this kind of pale white skeleton draped in like this kind of elegant mantle, which is also white, with a scythe kind of on its back, also white. Very kind of elegant crown that rims its head, and it's leaning over a skeleton that is currently trying to like align itself with the piano. This particular skeleton is the tall one is about 15 feet tall, and the other skeleton is probably around 6-ish. All said and done, and I will get you your line of sight in just a second. All right, reveal. Are you gonna be nice to me, or are you gonna not be nice?
You know it's got to be stupid first. Oh my god, it worked. I'm shocked. Oh my god, that's a skeleton. I'm not sure why I'm surprised that it's exactly
essentially what you're saying at the moment.
I think Anita's getting the sense that the skeleton is a baby, which breaks my heart, and the older skeleton, the taller one, is an adult. So they're like giant elves? That's wild.
Well, they speak Elvish, so...
Yeah, and actually Effie doesn't know any of that. Like,
oh, you're right.
Effie doesn't speak Elvish. But just like
I always do like common language. Like you could hear when Arabic's being spoken, right? Like excuse me. You know, like when French, you might not know what they're saying, but you're like, okay, that's French. So like you're like, okay, that's Elvish. You've had experience with it because it's a fairly popular language. You just have no idea what they're saying.
This mofo sounds pretentious. It's French. Okay.
Jeez.
I was about to jump in and be like, well, it's not really a baby, maybe a child. But I was like, what hair am I splitting? How is that better?
Okay. I think Corlin would follow Effie's lead here and try to like just make sure nothing happens here, that everything's safe.
I just want to point out the skeleton is like normal sized. It's just tall, and proportioned not in a way like a child. It's just very difficult to find token art of a skeleton about to play the piano. So
no, we appreciate that.
Understood. That's a great one.
Sure.
That was great.
Yeah, Mauricio's gonna be. She's like listening, but more intent on just being near Effie if she gets spotted. So she is coming down to listen, but also to watch her six.
Yeah, with a 13 perception, are there any harps in the area?
No, there are a bunch of weird string instruments, but you're not seeing any harps. There's a second. I'll show you the. You can see. Oh my goodness! Reveal. Please be nice to me.
How dare! Those are clearly double basses. There's nothing wrong with them.
There's. Yeah, I mean, I'd say strange to this particular era. Yeah, but the musician is not wrong. Those are. But you are that is kind of the remainder of the room that you can see from here.
Obviously, we have to challenge them to a music battle. Everyone hop on an instrument.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Listen to the master puppets here.
Moody is going to stay at the top of the stairs, but just listen. Because he can understand, so he's just listening.
Yeah, I think when Effie sees that Corlin has like gone up beside her, she's going to just like sort of look at you expectantly, like this is your quest, take the lead.
Okay, shit. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Her first inclination is to ask these guys what's going on.
Do what you're gonna do. I'm gonna shrug when Moody suggests maybe not going ahead. I'm like, all right, but internally I'm like, we're clearly gonna have to fight these skeletons, and me being up here is a disadvantage of the situation. But I'm gonna just summon my echo. I was like, I'm ready to kill.
Get down there, buddy.
Okay.
No, just next to me.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And I think in Effie's mind, Effie's like thinking, okay, these are the first people we have met. These are the second people we've met that aren't speaking Infernal or Abyssal. So this might be good for us.
Okay.
Of course, they are giant skeletons, so it might be bad, but
15-foot tall scythe-wielding skeleton.
Okay. Again, not gonna lie to you. To her, that's a good sign. Anyway, so
Shady.
so at this point, what would happen is she would just she would see like Effie just going, so what you gonna do here? She would give her just a nod and go, okay. She would stand up, just like not at this point. She's not trying to be shady. She's not hiding. She's just gonna put her hands together. She's gonna pray. She's gonna say this shit, and she's gonna start going down the stairs.
Say it to us how she would say it.
Yeah.
Okay. When the blue starlight dies and all is through, and there's more she's repeating, but you don't hear that.
Do we?
Are you?
Us religious folk, do any of us recognize these prayers? She's been saying a lot of prayers, and well, putting
Great
the words
question,
there.
girl. You know what you need to give me.
Yeah, this time I am investigating it.
It's not investigate. It's religion, girl. Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll it.
Okay. Said investigate.
I was just saying this time I am actively interfering. So that's when I roll bad, when I'm not just looking at it.
Oh shit!
I think it's because you said investigation. Oh my
I know all of your secrets.
good lord.
Every single one of them.
That
Damn.
that is not Malil's words.
None of this shit is Noel's.
In fact,
like,
it's from a darker text,
Yeah, I'm
like-
not surprising. It's good.
like stuff from the Far Realm. It doesn't.
The Far Realm.
Something about.
So this isn't like God stuff. This is like aliens beyond the rift stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, not Elistray. I think Effie will just like take that, catalog that, and sort of like stand up, stop sneaking, and follow.
Stop sneaking.
Follow the lead.
Okay. Sounds good. Give me just 1 second. I want to grab something here. Foozzy,
let's yes.
I'm gonna make your life hard for just a moment, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
You're so great. Thank you, Foos. Did I ever tell you how much you're such a great person and you're very poofy. In a moment, I'm gonna ask you to mute the stream so we don't get copyrighted, because I do want to play something that you guys would be hearing, but I don't think there's a way I can. I mean, I guess I could upload it. Oh, it's a pain in the ass, though.
You can put a link in
It's more
Disco.
pain
We
in
can
the
listen
ass
to it in our own
stream.
time.
Okay, yeah, let me try that. Hold on. Give
So
me a
is
second.
it going to be in the royalty-free music or in the other ones?
No,
I think I can
you
just
put the
upload
link-
it to Disco, right?
If the Foos could leave.
Yeah.
Oh no, Disco.
All right, hold on.
It's not me.
Everything's on you, Foos. Everything.
It's not me. It's not me.
It wasn't me. If I can find it. Sorry. But anywho, as you say that, you're walking down these stairs. You hear, well, you don't hear it. The elves do. All right, let's try that again from the top. Can't believe it's coming to this. All this time, all this effort, and all that just led to trailing off. But as you come down the stairs, the creature immediately just kind of clocks you and then kind of squares up. Doesn't reach for its weapon or anything, but switching back to common, but like ye old common.
The old common.
Like, halt! Uninvited guest thou. What brings you forth into my abode?
Okay. So the first thing she would do is she would put her hands up and tell him, I am going to reach for my weapons now, and I'm going to throw them behind me. I mean you no harm.
You can stay armed if that's how V wants to roam. You did not answer my question, uninvited.
Apologies. I come here on the behalf of the Lord Malil.
Okay.
Good shit,
All right. I don't know how to put this. Roll me a persuasion check or whatever check you deem appropriate.
I mean, she's not lying here. She has come on behalf of. I gotta fucking refresh my page. She has come here on behalf of the Lord Malil. She has. She's not lying. So I'm going to roll persuasion. I don't know why you're making it sound like something else, Nanners.
Reasons. You'll figure them out after you roll.
You put me in this position.
He had to restart his thing.
Okay.
Persuasion.
Press X to doubt.
Yep. You hear
15. Goddamn, that's bad.
It's been a while since I've heard any new creations from his flock. I do miss them. Are you capable of performing? We're having a concert soon. Probably the last ones Keep will ever have.
The last one.
Indeed.
Why,
I'm sure you know of the raucous that's going on upstairs.
You mean the demons, the devils?
Among others, yes.
I've played before. My father, he instructed me in many different things, but I prefer to dance.
We're a bit newer in the keep. And once we saw the music room, we've heard legends about this place's music. I would love to get a little more caught up on the goings on in this place.
Oh Lord!
If this is the last concert, you seem informed. Could you catch us up? Why is this the last concert? What's going on here?
It is, unfortunately, the prophesized end. These... how do I put it? My father was gifted in the abilities of magic and was cursed with foresight. And deemed that one day his beloved goddess would need our help. And created this place as a bastion of sorts, and I believe he said we weren't going to be the cause. What was it? What was his words again? We won't be the flame, but we will be the spark.
Interesting.
I am a bit of a religious scholar. What goddess did your father serve?
The Lady of Mystery and Magic. Of course.
Of course.
I reach into my bralette and sort of take out my holy symbol that I keep close to my chest. And I say, "Hey, cousin."
Fellow worshipper here at this time. Truly, we are blessed.
Though I think you and your father might have been alive and worshiping at a different iteration of Our Lady of Mystery. Still,
She's both ever-changing and the same at the same time, is my understanding of it. Okay, so how we help our unexpected but welcome guests.
Merciel's gonna sheath her weapon and just kind of walk up and be relaxed. It's just like no point in hiding, I guess. Cat's out.
There is a harp of legend that my compatriot is trying to find for her deity, and we would have it. We would try to find it.
Oh, okay. I see. That is a rather precious artifact, and one I've done well to keep hidden from those unworthy.
Well, she's the most worthy out of anybody that you've seen. No doubt in my mind.
Oh.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Way too hard.
Let's go.
Giving you these eyes like, what the fuck are you doing, woman?
Let's go.
That was so much cap right there. I can't. Punch.
You better have a for this shit.
When your teammates are like,
You're talking them up, and they're like,
Okay.
14. Okay.
Ooh, how do you roll a 2 on that shit?
Just by rolling a d20, it's 5% of the chances.
Not being you. That's how we roll.
Not the one question, all these salty answers. I love it. Of all time might be a bit much, but I'll give you a couple of choices. You can wait until the end of our performance and then see if the harp is willing to go with you.
Willing to go with us.
Do you not know what you ask?
I do not.
Oh,
The Lord Melosa's jump.
no. Mauricio's just making faces like you were supposed to pretend to know.
She's not gonna lie to these guys.
You've been shady all the way up, and here you're gonna be honest.
I appreciate your candor, especially in times of this nature. Yes, a brief education then. The harp is more than just a harp. It is a, I guess, reliquary of some of Melil's first and favorite artists, each one representing a string capable of being a harmony unto themselves, but when played together by a master in both their craft and that instrument, it sounds like entire symphonies going on. As a result, this particular artifact is a combination of a couple of dozen different people, all faithful followers of Melil.
Oh, well, that seems simple. If the harp is many different people, then they'll just have a whole Melil chat. Like, you can talk to your cousins in the cloth, and then they'll see. And that'll be that. Right?
We'll see. We'll see.
So, option one was to see if you'll survive their judgment after the concert, or I can make rather strong changes to my upcoming performance in the theater, and give you the harp now, but you would have to pass through my judgment.
Both of those judgments, what do they look like?
Admittedly, mine's probably a little more harsh, but I will scrutinize your soul
Okay.
If you are found wanting, I may just expel you from the premises. If you are truly something vile, then I might just erase you.
What do you consider vile?
Man, I'm not a fan of treachery in general, but any manner of evil. Anyone who has elven heritage, roll me a history check if you grew up among elves.
Oh.
Like
You
all
haven't
elves
done
are
it
like,
yet.
happy families. Like
Okay.
how many elves we talking? Like,
All right,
five?
hold on. You guys are really kill. In lieu of that, or if you had exposure to elven culture, I'd say like
Okay.
deep elven culture, not just like like.
I mean, Coralin worships Malil, where the long years dwell. So.
Oh my god. Oh.
I wouldn't consider that
so
like
unconvincing.
Yeah, deep element. I'm talking like you
Oh.
lived it. You were there around the campfires when they were talking about their ancestors, things that they used to do.
I mean, she grew up in the church. If it's a no, it's a no. I'm just saying she grew up.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
church,
No, I'm talking
so.
like you were immersed in the culture.
Okay.
Would it help if I told you that a key already judged me and said I was all right?
That was a key. This is a harp. Very different.
I sound
Did you find? You found the key.
I found a key.
You found Draknir? Show it to me.
Hold it up. Are you Draknir? You can give me a name.
Oh, I haven't seen that in so long. Yes, no, you come forth. You are free to pass without judgment.
Ah, all right then.
Please don't throw a hammer.
Why would I throw a hammer? Granted, you see a skeleton, you think you throw a hammer, but he's quite nice. I'm gonna dismiss the echo because it feels aggressive. And make my way down the stairs.
Moody. Did you grow up with elves? I forgot.
Can Moody get advantage on whatever check this is about to be because of this Nubs looking
Because of Nub's inspiration. He's adorable.
No, it's fine. He did one side of his family was super like, now we gonna adjust to the city and we gonna be city folk like regular, and then the others was like, well, we should remember some of our heritage. So that's why I was like, kind of.
Okay.
Which was the side that? Which was the side that was like, we gonna be whores?
Oh my god! Stop.
None.
Just for the audience, that paladin's god is Hor, Hoar.
Yep. Look, I looked up vengeance things and I was like, that's great. His name? Hor. Shit. Hor it is.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. So, and nobody else had any significant.
I mean, Marizio, that she's half and, city girl. So I was like, if she has that, it's very middling at best.
Give me a roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
I mean, I think there's few people who would know elven culture more than a dwarf like myself, so I guess I could.
I'm a dwarf like myself. I fucking love you, man. So,
Almost, but didn't know.
Girl, can we get you to a church to get exercise? Do
Isn't
something.
awful, though.
I swear. I feel so bad.
Not cleansed, exercise.
Exercise.
Like there
There's
is
something-
a demon inside of you that's rolling ones and
Y'all were
twos.
talking about how great that demon was earlier. Now we're all an anti-demon.
All right.
This one doesn't have lover's caress or whatever. Sorry.
Yeah.
We haven't asked.
Unfortunately, none of you have the background to properly identify essentially what this creature may be, but
I think Effie's going to pipe up and say, we're all talking a lot, but like Coralin, this is your quest. You've gotta go and do the dangerous thing and be proved worthy if it's gonna mean anything, right?
Okay, yeah, the whole time she's been kind of looking very pensive and she's been very quiet, and at Effie's words, she just starts like she just breaks out of the stupor and she just nods and goes, "Yes, you're right.
So we're kind of on a time crunch here. Do you want to do like the one where we get the judgment immediately, or do you want to wait for a concert or whatever for some reason?"
She shakes her head and just goes, I will not disturb their concert.
Also, time isn't on our side.
Time to get judged.
I missed that. Did you want to submit to the judgment?
I will submit to the harp's judgment.
I'll submit to yours. He steps forward. Let's go.
He places a long, like inhumanly long, bony hand kind of gently on your head. And you feel like it almost feels like a spring mist, like sensation over your mind come over. It's like a little bit of warm, a little bit of cool altogether. Elements of like nature. You feel like a faint touch of fae kind of mixed into all of it. But it starts going through some of like your life's, like your decisions, your kind of general path in life and how you got there, the means in which you executed certain things, and milestones and crossroads within your life, and is in some cases like, oh, and in others,
is it
nods of
replaying
approval.
For Moody as well, or is it just like
it's just for you? It's going in your head, so it's all like he's going through your life experience,
right? But like he's
but you're seeing it too. Yeah, absolutely.
Too. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
100%.
Oh, all right.
And all right, and just kind of pulls his hand back. Got quite a bit wound up in there, huh?
No. I think once a particular milestone.
The
goes
giant
by,
skeleton with the scythe on his back says, "Yikes!" that's what you just. That's wild.
I think there's a particular milestone where I think anyone just watching, even though he's not facing you guys, like his like demeanor changes entirely from sort of like, I don't know, like the confident, like casual pose he normally has to one that's like a little more standoffish, and like when the hand detracts, it takes a second, but he kind of like slips back into his like regular poise and such. So is that a pass? Or fail?
It is on the condition that you allow me to write a song about you.
What is that?
About what parts?
Look, I am a professional. I'm not going to name names or specific places.
Not worried about the names, I guess. There's just some parts that are less interesting, I guess.
Coral would just be looking at you like, what the hell are you doing? This is a great honor. What the? Like, someone's gonna write a song about you. What's wrong with you?
The recovering from loss parts, specifically.
So the fun part of me, I see. Yeah, that's...
If I may say so, it is a driving factor, is it not?
I can't tell you how deeply I appreciate this conversation. That's fine. Go for it.
It was not my intention to make you uncomfortable. If I did, I apologize.
He slips into Elvin for a second. Why are you here?
I am a lot of things. A scion, a protector, a flag bearer, a steward, a castellan.
Just got raided.
Oh, hello, Raiders. we're having a talk skeleton to elf.
Yeah. My passion was always music, and I could never truly follow it due to my birthright. But I may do.
And you're stuck here? You were put here for a purpose?
I am bound here. You have our blood, but are ignorant of our ways? Or has it been that long since...
It's 1389.
Oh. Oh, that is some time. Okay. Well, I am what our people used to call a Baal Norn.
Oh my god, I know what that is.
Yeah, I do
What
too.
if-
But I was like,
I
Rifffield,
don't think-
don't say nothing.
I'm quite sure Moody has no fucking idea what that is. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
It is a more noble path to Lichdom. It is not as obviously long-lasting, and we usually do it in order to safeguard knowledge or people or places. And in many cases, with our extremely long lives, we pick up a lot of incredible knowledge that would die with us. Processes and artistry and things that require time, perishable skills, things that in our lifetime would take 20, 30 years to learn, can't just be written in a book. It has to be transferred to somebody who could teach it. I am one such being. Admittedly, somewhat against my own will, but this is where we are.
Well, Corlin would have so many comments right now, but you can't see shit. Okay.
Well,
And-
then she doesn't know Elvish, does she?
Exactly.
Yeah,
What
so
I'm
anyone who
saying.
speaks Elvish would have heard that. Essentially.
Yeah, Mauricio's just over there, like, kind of moving up close and shooting a look at the skeleton over there that's kind of learning after the mention of, like, teaching and things like that. But she
We
doesn't
plan
say.
on taking the keep. Are you forever bound here?
Yes, that was one of the conditions of my condition.
And he looks towards the skeleton. This one too?
Like you, I also suffered loss. But I managed to change a few things. I don't know how to say it. This is my little brother in your parlance. He's kind of permanently stuck at 13, but he was a savant of his time, and it would be a shame to lose his talent. So I made sure the world didn't.
And he switches back to common. All right, so pass is a pass, and I guess I'll wait over here.
On that condition, I won't make the song against your will.
You have my permission. This feels late, but I'm Murira Ori. What's your name?
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, God. Oh, wait, I want a character with high charisma. This has never happened in my life.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll have to
Say you're a
say.
paladin.
I'm sorry.
I love the PTSD to relief pipeline. We just
I've never played high persuasion characters. This is the first time.
yeah,
I'm
that'll get
serious.
you. There you go.
Like a plus one tops. This is unusual. Okay, I'm in. We're good.
That reaction was amazing. Give me a second while I go look up his name, because I forgot which part he was
That's
from.
fine.
I know
No,
his
no,
position.
take
I just
time.
forgot his fucking
See,
name.
even Nenders didn't think I was going to pass.
I didn't think you were going to pass, I'll be honest with you.
Nenders said persuasion, and both he and I were like, not happening.
Nope.
Just
There's
imagine
no
you
way.
playing as a GM, and yeah, Moody's probably going to be the one to ask the questions, going to roll charisma, fail it, and then we.
Yeah, exactly. She's not passing the Oh, God.
Oh my gosh.
The many moons of Muddy. Has a saxophone for sure.
I don't know how much content he's getting if it's just one song, but that sounds like an jazz album to me.
Taylor. At your service. So to speak.
Taylor?
Taylor. Like TAYLOHR.
And I think that when the elven sort of stops, Effie kind of wants to like get to this harp so we can like get to it and figure out how we use it to clear out this keep. So she's just gonna pipe up and say, great, Moody's worthy. That means Moody can pick up the harp and we can... Is that how this works? I'm not sure how this works.
No, unfortunately, you all must be made worthy one way or the other.
Well, not fair. I don't know nothing about harps and less about Malil, but I do know that, gods, to a degree, my gods, but if the person worshipping Malil needs a harp and they think we should sit through the concert, I am concerned about time, but also,
Concerts.
You don't ask a thin man where to get dinner, is all I'm saying. Go to the person who knows what they're talking about. So maybe we should listen.
That concert sounds very final, the way you put it.
It is the last performance for those who have inhabited this lovely abode. And it will be a bit of time. I'm not going to stretch that out. Probably a few hours, depending on if we can get this one song right. And kind of puts his hand on the skeleton's shoulder.
What happens after today that you can't do any more concerts?
Yeah, the time's a little fuzzy on the prophecy, but once whatever is prophesized to happen, this keep as it is such is no more.
Oh.
I believe you all have a hand in what's coming in that, and thus I will not tell you any further as to stop something else from happening or altering the prophecy in some way.
I mean, no disrespect, Corlin, but we are actually in a bit of a race. And she's remembering the sexy demon downstairs being like, also very much after the same things that they are. So if we're sitting around listening to a concert, they're going to get to it first. And we're going to have some big problems.
Can we hear the music no matter where we are? Or would we need to be here?
Well, I was sealing the concert hall as to not be interrupted. But if the music is what you want to hear, I can tune you in if you want. I'll have to put no, actually, hold on. If you give me a few moments, I can enchant some coins, and you can choose to listen in or not.
Hey, yo, Dennis, I'm going to ask you a couple questions real quick.
What you got for me?
Yeah, so Merciel's got that weird spirit shit going on in her life. Maybe she's in this room. You sense some weird shit. She's kind of just...
It's still the void. It is unnervingly quiet.
Oh, we're still... Okay, all right. Yeah.
All right.
I would say that might change in the concert hall, but here it is.
If no one else is going to, I'm going to go ahead and step up. I think the coins are a great idea, but we should be moving as quickly as we can. They're not waiting for us downstairs.
Step forward and be judged. Same thing, hand on the head.
Just like that, just
Yeah. Goes through elements of your life. Kind of the very same situation where it's going through, development stages, milestones, crossroads, critical decisions that make you you. Your dedication to your particular path of martial arts, and your attentiveness to your body and your surroundings, and the risks you take for other people. And after what seems like a good few minutes, he retracts his hand. A colorful life so far. You may pass.
Considering what you are, and what you've seen, any guidance, words of wisdom to offer?
After tonight, I will give you all the wisdom you need. But I shall not interfere with the prophecy. I hope you understand.
Her brain is just like, you dead? I work with dead people all the time. Can you tell me anything about dead? No? Okay.
I take it that means we can't hear the prophecy then, because I was going to ask.
No. Again, not until this happened, at least. We can compare notes, perhaps.
Well, I guess that's three of us now.
Indeed.
She's looking to Corlin and Effie and just like, what's the holdup? She doesn't know. Uh-oh.
Oh, Nenners, you just got a DM inspiration.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh no, Anita.
I'm okay with them being.
Roll initiative, bitches. Here we
Just
go.
don't give them confused.
You're in melee range.
Yeah.
You're in Lich Aura. Here we go.
Effie is going to roll her eyes, take out a dagger, step forward, and just say, "All right, mister. No funny stuff."
Maybe that's not the move.
I like your spirits, little one.
It's one of my better qualities.
Oh,
All right, then.
He just nods his little head. Same deal, puts his hand on your head. And goes through and sees immediately, if he had any eyebrows to arch, it would pretty much be in the beginning.
oh no.
And obviously this is for her knowledge, but just going through the upbringing with the hags and how that went through and how they treated you and your kind of relationship with them and how that molded you as a person, your escape, everything tied into all of that, your pursuits afterwards. Also kind of, in some cases, eyebrow raising, but ultimately he seems satisfied when he pulls his hand off. And I have not seen a tale like that in, anywhere outside of fiction. So thank you for sharing that. And as chaotic as your world may be, your heart remains dedicated. And that is enough. You too may pass.
Marcial's gonna lean in to Moody and whisper in Elvish, is it just me or did the Bale Nord seem stumped for a second there?
I think we're the weirdest people he's seen in a while, and he's dead for likely centuries.
Okay.
One more to
What
go.
say you, acolyte of Melil? Do you step forward?
Again, she seems very distracted right now, and so at his words, she just lets out a deep breath and says, I will. And she just starts walking over to him, and the whole time she just keeps muttering this shit. These prayers. And let's see, just give you one of the paragraphs. Along the shore, the cloud waves break. The twin suns sink behind the lake. The shadows lengthen in Carcosa. And so, yeah, there's a lot more to it, but that's basically what's happening there. And she would approach this guy in a very like. You guys ever like approach a priest when you're a little kid?
You generally don't want to do that when you're.
That's not where I'm going with that, but yeah, I grew up in a very religious household.
Sorry.
I grew up in a very religious household, and I don't know about you guys. I felt this very like intimidating kind of a factor to a priest. Like there's a reverence to it, but you feel intimidated in the same time. You know.
I can understand what you're saying. Yeah, I don't share the experience, but I definitely get where you're. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay. Roll me a D100, please.
Oh, holy crap. Okay.
This is the percentage effect.
Yeah. Okay. How do I roll this? /R or R/?
/R D space D100.
Oh, I know. I'm fucking with you. Relax.
/roll or no? It's just R.
76.
76. Okay. All right. So, he puts his hand on your head and kind of begins to go through your memories, your early childhood, your family, and immediately kind of tenses up. Sees elements of your faith and kind of what you represent. Certain events after that. And I would say, well, you have a passive perception that's very high. So even in this, you'd probably know. Those of you who are watch as he like goes for his sight.
Oh.
And begins to kind of bring it down. And like it's resting on the floor, but it's like ready to be used. And there's kind of like a grim kind of determination on his face, but he's going through more modern elements and times, and he stops at a specific event that was relatively recent. And I'm going to ask you to give me a persuasion check to kind of mentally see if you can clarify your intentions. And I think you know which one. I mean, if you don't whisper me, I'll whisper it back to you, whatever it is. But
Orlin, clarify her intentions.
And that's why it's done in whispers. Ain't nobody else gonna see that but fucking Dennis's eyes.
Okay. All right.
Should I just roll initiative? Like what?
Roll me a persuasion check. And with your 76, there is a familiar helping presence that comes with that. So you're able to do it at advantage.
Okay. Don't get overconfident. 25.
All right. With a kind of solemn nod, he puts the scythe back and withdraws from you, and doesn't have the kind of happy, welcoming face that he had with your teammates. This one lives a layered life.
As an aside, I think we already knew that, but okay.
The worthiest, right, cuz?
And Elvin again, Moody, are we gonna have a problem with that one?
But
She's looking at Clorida, not at the Reaper.
whether you know it or not, you have furthered Malil's goals.
And that makes me happy.
Indeed.
Corlin, is there anything you need to tell us?
You see him kind of ruminating for a bit. You're not painted in the traditional sense. And thus I won't need to sully my blade.
I appreciate that.
But Malil has chosen you.
And at those words, she just really smiles and goes, "And I will serve."
You know, there's nothing I can do that would be worse than what Malil will do to you, should you fail.
I know. He has told me what he'll do. I can imagine nothing worse.
I am not one to step between the wrath of a god and the hubris of a mortal. So you don't pass in the traditional sense, as I still find you unworthy. It is just not for me to judge. He steps back. The harp shall be yours. And we'll end it there. We'll come back next week and see what happens to...
We're not back next
Corlin.
week, Nunners. You're abandoning us.
That's true.
Oh my god!
3 weeks of this cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That's what we
Oh,
got.
yes.
Kit, you were rolling for your life, by the way.
I know, motherfucker.
I
I know.
wanted you to know. You were going to be executed on the spot if you rolled low. Hence the D100.
We've got a cleric. It's fine.
Oh my god. That's an
I mean-
actual lich standing in front of us.
I guess I do have Revivify.
Oh my god.
That's a lich blade. You think they don't have something against that? Come on.
That's amazing.
That's why I said I guess. I don't know how well it would work.
It's a Baal Norn, so technically a holy lich.
A holy
But
elder.
also, even if it works, when you just raise your ass up, it's easy to be like, no, and kill you again.
Oh my god.
I meant what I said. Slice it in.
I fucking love
Revivify kills you
Effie's.
again. Looks at me, you want some? No.
I loved Effie's doubling down where she's like, after the whole like judgment, that's the best one. Yes or no? Did I not nail it? Or
Yo, next time we get in this
so great.
situation, I highly recommend getting prejudged by a key, because that made my job way easier.
Yeah, no. Oh, he likes you. Get in there.
You know what's funny about this is like Effie is supposed to be the questionable, but now everybody's just like eyes locked.
I mean, I think they've been there the whole time, but okay.
What the fuck are you?
Just because of how shady the ninja has been this whole time, I feel like no one's ever been like, she seems totally okay.
Yeah.
Except maybe Brannigan, who's like super.
Oh, I was going to
nice.
say, as much as out of character, I think you are shady AF. Brannigan's like, you have done 0 things against me or this group. I'm not here to judge you by any past I don't know about or anyone else's. Your actions speak for you. And I mean, you did throw a knife at me right away, but
You deserve that shit. You know it.
I didn't.
Yeah,
But
you did.
I mean, up until now, I think Merciel just kind of looked at Coral as like that weird, creepy aunt or whatever.
Yep.
Just kind of slips in the room and looks weird and then leaves. You know?
Everything's
now
weird
she's
and I'm
like,
confused.
All right, man.
Pretty much.
She's really off about you, and I don't know.
Yeah, like it stands to say something when like Effie routinely like speaks the language of the abyss and the infernals, and Effie is not the Effie is not the one that doesn't get like that doesn't get flagged as unworthy. That's,
Yeah.
That's exactly
Right.
something.
I was gonna say dinged. Like, I'm sorry, you can't. You can't make it through. but
Yeah, like the
flags is
TSA random checklist here, like stopped the nun, and not Effie, like bralette and mini skirt.
I mean,
That is
if you really have a
hilarious.
copy of the TSA, they can just be like, hey, give me a spin and you're fine, you know?
I can't
Oh,
speak for the
no.
skeleton, but I have to assume Effie was close. I feel like the skeleton had to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
The skeleton
there was.
definitely was taken aback and was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, that was true."
Was Effie the closest second?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hands
Sure.
without a doubt. I just want to point
Oh,
out
no.
that Kit, I've had 2 basically customs checks in my campaigns, and you failed both of them.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's very true.
What was the custom check I had here?
Just right now.
How did I rolled the 76? What happened?
No, you failed. You weren't
No.
worthy. You didn't die.
You
Yeah,
failed,
yeah.
but you
Oh! Okay, I didn't fail in the
you
traditional
failed the
sense, though.
vibe check,
Yeah.
but you talked your way out of it
Now don't
enough.
take that roll away from me, motherfucker. Damn.
No, it was you rolled
No.
well. That was all right. Look, man, you know
That rolls
were
gave
in
you
the shit.
advantage.
Yeah,
yeah.
you were in the shit going in.
Oh, I know.
Right, you knew that. This was to see if you
I'll
would
say that
survive.
right now. This lady right here. No, I know that. I know that.
Okay. I have a place ready for us to raid. But before we go, as you heard me very hastily correct Netters, we're going to be off, unfortunately, for Bygone Keep for about 3 weeks. So we should be back June, I think 15th or whatever that day is. It should be the second week in June.
It's not that far. June 7th.
It is 7th. Is it 7th? No, 7th. I'm in Turks and Caicos, Nenners. That's why we're off that next week.
Why are
after.
you with Turkish Geckos?
Because
It is
our
the 14th.
honeymoon, Netters. I told
Both
you
of
that
y'all
before.
aren't committed, and so some of you are going places for work, and some of you are going places because you think honeymoons are important, and you're not coming to a D&D.
We're not committed to the
We'll
cause.
play more Diablo.
Oh God! All right,
Yeah.
my sister is almost correct. It's 14th. It's good.
No, okay, it's fine. Yeah. So we're gonna be off, unfortunately, for 2 weeks. There will be like official scheduling and such in our announcements. Also, just because this is definitely gonna affect our weekends too. So the Foozca channel might be quiet for a little while, but we'll keep you updated with that and stuff. But we get to sit on this lovely kind of. I don't even know if I want to say like cliffhanger, but just like I thought it was a really awesome moment. Which again, Nenners, thank you so much for being an awesome D&D
Fuck
DM
yeah.
because we love you so much and it's super cool.
But with all that, we'll be back in a month, essentially. And let's go raid Nerd House Tabletop. They look like they're an hour and a half or so into their night, so hopefully they'll still be on for a little bit. So let's go show them some
Nerd
love.
House.
And yeah, that's the other thing. I do love their name. It's fantastic. So let's go show them some love. Thank you
I
once
wanna hang
again
out in
for
the
being
Nerd
here.
House.
And we're gonna say goodnight now. So have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Happy
And please
happy
stick
moon
by for the
time.
raid.